I'm hoping tonight I can raise your awareness to a new level so that you begin to do it in a more conscious way. So what we're talking about here is stepping into the other person's perspective, recognizing that they're thinking, why do I care? And making sure that what we say answers that question. Lets that person know there's a reason why you care. There's a reason why you should care about what I'm suggesting to you or asking you to help me with. There is a reason why it matters to you. Daniel Goleman, the author of Emotional Intelligence, that some of you may be well familiar with, and also Social Intelligence, which is his newer and really extremely good book that I recommend very highly. Dr. Goleman says, all communication requires that what matters to the sender must also matter to the receiver. And that's what this is about. Now, when I say you take the other person's perspective, do I mean that you simply do what others want? Do I mean that you think of their perspective just to be nice to them? Absolutely not. You are employed to do a job. You have got to go into that conference room or that meeting or that call or that situation and get what your bosses employ you to get. Put forward a point of view, get cooperation from others. You have an agenda and you need to achieve that agenda. This isn't about just giving the other person what they want, but it's about getting your agenda by thinking about what they want. And that subtle difference is huge. So once you start to think of the other person's perspective, you prepare better. You better anticipate their reaction. So as a simple example, if I know that I'm going in to request budget from someone who doesn't want to give up budget to me, and I pause and think, well, why doesn't he want to give up the budget? Does he not have it? Is he lacking in resources? Does he have other high priorities? Does he think mine is a bad idea? Does he not want to back my project? Is it a personal thing? Is it because he doesn't like my boss? There could be 1,000 reasons why he does not want to give me that budget. But I want that budget, and I want to persuade him. So I step back and I ask myself those questions, and I get some answers to why maybe. And I start to play with that data, and I start to think about what's really important to him. And all of a sudden, I'm coming up with a strategy that's addressing what's in his mind. So if I think the main thing in his mind is that he's doubting whether my project could even work, then I know in my discussion with him or my presentation, I've got to start by showing him how it will work. Because if I don't convince him of that, there's no way he's going to part with the money. But on the other hand, if I know that the reason that he doesn't want to give the funding to me is because he's so keen on some other project, maybe I need to think about whether there's any tie-in. Could my project support that project? Could we share any resources? And begin to address it from a decision that I know he's already got in his head. So I'm working with what I know about him in order to make sure that I'm prepared. Now, if I know, for example, that he's probably going to get defensive, and I say to myself, well, you know, he tends to get defensive about these things. Here's the good news. Once I recognize that, and I figure he's going to get defensive, then I don't take it personally. And you know what happens when I don't take it personally? I stay in control of my own behavior. When we get offended, we usually lose control because we're busy feeling emotional. So it's not so easy to behave in an even-handed, rational way. But if I've prepared and thought about it and anticipated, I walk in with so much more composure and control.